I think my main motto or main motivation behind making art is always to question. I would say naturally my main focus is to ask why. For me to say I'm a photographer or me to say I'm a cinematographer or a director was too limiting because I don't just make moving images or still images. I make moving images, still images, I make paintings, I make drawings, and I tell stories through my paintings and drawings too. My paintings are not just abstract, they're abstract realism. As a kid, I always was making stories. I preferred to play by myself with my toys, cars, animals, and make safari movies. But I never really understood that I wanted to make films or wanted to tell stories until later. Took a digital filmmaking class and I made a film that my teacher, she suggested that based on the way I was making, what I was shooting and how I was shooting it, what I was trying to say, I should watch Wong Kar-wai's film. And I watched all those films. Although it was subconscious, I was touching on things visually that Wong Kar-wai was doing much more at a much higher level. After first year of Masters in Architecture, I dropped out and I took a job as a junior designer at an agency in Minneapolis. And they hired me as an in-house videographer and junior designer. And I started shooting videos there. Even at that point, I did not register in myself that I should pursue filmmaking. I had to go through that turmoil to maybe come to the two most important things in my life. One is painting, and the other is storytelling. If I hadn't gone through what I did, maybe the texture of my characters or my story would not be as deep. I don't have a definite process yet. It's different for different medium of my expression, I guess. If I usually it'll be like a dialogue or something a character has to say as a reaction to something. It's usually that, it's something that is being projected in the zeitgeist or in the world at large that I, through a character, have to respond to. I wouldn't necessarily say that I have a style or genre. I tend to approach my paintings and my films usually as like a blank canvas. I'll have visuals in my head. Sometimes I'll storyboard them out. Most of the times my storyboards are very detailed. I don't have a definite process yet. The process is different for different medium. It's something that is being projected in the zeitgeist or in the world at large that I, through a character, have to respond to. Whatever I've made that is very experimental and improvised has been the most beautiful. Whatever I tried to put in a more structured plan didn't turn out as good as it could have been had we left some room to play. Each painting that I've made, if it's made on canvas, then it has layers and layers. There's 20 different paintings underneath, 20 different versions underneath the final. And there's a little bit of that comes into the film stuff too. Especially if I am running the camera and directing, then I can quickly see something beautiful that's happening and then improvise. How could I encourage other people to experiment? It's hard to experiment. It's hard to go into things undefined. I would say try different things that you haven't. Experiment in life too. If you experiment in life, if you try different things, it'll help make the texture of your art and your creation better.